Horizon 5 has an absolutely ridiculous amount of cars in the game, the majority of them being newer releases from the 2000s onwards, all of which are an absolute blast to drive. But like many car guys, I like to buy Horizon games so that I can also drive the old school cars that, for the most part, I'll likely never get a chance to drive ever in my lifetime. Now with the updated sounds where most cars sound as they would on the road, it gets me even closer to having that proper driving experience. So today I'm going to share with you my top 10 favorite retro cars in Forza Horizon 5. Starting us off, we have probably the most famous of the vintage Chargers. The 69 couldn't not be in this game. From the mean looking grille, quad circular headlights, horizontal tail lights, and the legendary 426 Hemi that came stock in the RT model, this car most definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Funnily enough though, it wasn't until around 1979 when the Dukes of Hazzard first aired in the US that the 69 became ubiquitous with American muscle car culture. It was of course popular before, but the TV show launched its popularity into the stratosphere. Next up, we have the Mini Cooper S. 2 years after its first introduction, the Cooper S was given a larger 1.3 litre engine, which put out a pretty pitiful 78 horsepower. That said, in the hands of John Cooper, his cars went on to win the Monte Carlo Rally 3 times. Probably its most notable appearance, however, was in the original Italian job, driving through shopping centres and on sidewalks in the Italian streets. These two inclusions into then pop culture garnered the attention of the general populace, leading to sales of around 150,000 of the Cooper and Cooper S models. In-game, however, the reason I like it so much is that while its original engine may only have 80 horsepower, you can upgrade the engine, slap some drag tires on it, and wheelie the hell out of it. So much fun. The Stingray, a mainstay for astronauts back in the day who liked to go fast and do so in ridiculous style. This amazingly styled little two-seater Corvette is, in my opinion, the best iteration. None have really come close to the look of this one. The ginormous 7-litre naturally aspirated V8 under the hood pumps out an exceptionally respectable 435 horsepower. And of course, being an American big block, it'll sound great doing so. The Volvo 242 Turbo Evo was produced in exceptionally limited quantities in 1983 to meet homologation requirements for Group A participation. Only 500 were alleged to have ever been shipped, making it one of the rarest Volvos in existence. Paired with the 2.1-litre turbocharged inline-4 came a water injection system, aluminium end-tank intercooler, larger radiator, and of course the signature rear spoiler. When the FIA came to inspect the homologation vehicles, it was rumoured that only the first 10 or so cars actually had these extras fitted. The rest either had the homologation parts in the boot or not at all, since Volvo only produced enough parts for around 200 at the time of inspection. Because of this lack of full completion and insane rarity, this car is super special and deserves its spot at number 7. The king of rally back in the day. Audi produced some of the finest homologation vehicles in the world, and the Audi Sport Quattro is definitely one of them. With its 4-wheel drive Quattro system that propelled Audi to 23 rally victories between 1981 and 1985 in the infamous Group B, the final 2 of those were the Sport Quattro. Now making a reappearance as Ken Block's new car after his partnership with Audi, this is truly one of the most awesome cars on the list, and with such a good lineage behind it as well. The original pioneer of the iconic Italian wedge shape and the bedroom poster of many a teenage boy at the time, the Lamborghini Countach solidified Lamborghini's name in the luxury fast car scene, whose insanely unique styling still looks good even today. This absolute monster is powered by an amazing sounding V12 mounted just in front of the rear wheels, and actually a funny fact about that huge wing at the back of the car is that it makes the aerodynamics on the car worse. Doesn't matter though, because it looks so wicked. I can only hope that the new Countach revival coming out in 2022 will live up to its older brother. In my opinion, the best of the American muscle cars that were produced in the 1965 to 1975-ish era. The pony car started a movement when it was originally released in 1965 and only increased in popularity. The 68 GT Fastback model was made famous by Steve McQueen's Bullitt in that jaw-dropping chase sequence filmed through the streets of San Francisco. The car that was originally driven by him was recently sold at auction for $3.7 million. It's an absolutely magnificent car with a strong history and an even stronger engine that makes it deserving of its spot at number 4. The 73 Alpine A110 is legitimately one of the most stunning cars in this game and in real life, taking some styling cues from the Jaguar with its fastback design and implementing its Rally Edition headlights. It's just so cool. Produced by Renault, it includes a 1.6 litre inline-4 engine that makes 123 horsepower. It's rear-wheel drive and weighs a measly 700 kilos. It's light, relatively quick, but more importantly, just incredible to look at. The BMW 2002 Turbo was the first ever turbocharged car to be introduced into the BMW lineup. Released right on the cusp of the oil crisis, a turbocharged 2-litre BMW was unfortunately not what the world was looking for at the time, and as a result, only 1,600 were made. Which is a real shame because I truly think that this is one of BMW's finest creations. From the immaculate body styling to the spoiler, aggressive front bumper, and incredible paint job, it's such a shame that this car came out when it did. Its 2-litre engine boasted a top speed of 211 kilometers per hour, and in 1973, that was pretty damn fast. This car most definitely deserves its spot at number 2, and I could look at it and listen to it forever. Finally, at number 1, the Renault 5 Turbo is one of the most striking examples of a rally group homologation vehicle. The R5's original purpose in competing was to promote the sale of the car, but in return, the world received one of the most stunning vehicles to ever bless the streets. The R5 Turbo had a tiny little 1.5 litre turbocharged inline-4 engine, which pumped out an incredibly respectable 158 horsepower. The greatest part being that the car only weighed 970 kilos. The most obvious and standout part of this vehicle though are the wing pillars, which also act as air ducts, making the car almost a foot wider in the rear than the regular production car. This thing is so awesome. It drives well, it sounds good, and it looks absolutely stunning. So that concludes my list. Are there any cars that you felt I missed out on? Let me know in the comments below, and a massive thank you to all of my new subscribers over the last couple of weeks. It's been amazing to see so many new people subbing. If you have anything you'd like to see, let me know down below, and thanks again for watching.